It's the ADCs of wrestling after WrestleMania. It's going to be one hell of a show. We obviously talk a little bit of fallout from the granddaddy of them all, some Raw, some Smackdown, plus we're going to do a real fun fantasy shakeup for you guys.
WrestleMania was great.
Not yet, Vince, not
God
yet.
damn it, pal, tell me when.
You'll know when.
I want to sing.
You will. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. Oh, hell yeah.
Are you ready for a show with questionable wrestling impressions by a guy I know?
He's got a few.
ADC.
Ooh, yeah, dig it.
ADC.
Let me tell you something, ADC.
He watches wrestling.
This is awesome, Michael.
Do you know your ADCs, the ADCs of wrestling? Welcome to the ADCs of wrestling. It's the ADCs of wrestling after WrestleMania, the very first one, Maddie.
So very exciting.
I'm your host, Andrew David Cox. This is, of course, Matt the Mark. And guys, this is a very special show. I should prepare you, okay? It's not your usual show. Sometimes on shows after WrestleMania, we like to criticize things that we normally praise, and we like to praise things we normally criticize. It's just part of the fun. We're just having a good time here, guys. So get involved in the spirit. I fucking hate that spiel off the top of the Raw after Mania. I think that's so patronizing, so stupid.
It's so true. It's so true.
That makes me so mad.
I felt like it wasn't as crazy as it normally is. I don't know if you got that sense when you were watching, but
I kind of got that sense too. I feel like maybe they kind of learned how to book around that.
Yeah.
Like having Roman come in like halfway through the show, bruised and battered, and like a wounded big dog. It helped. It helped. Here's a little show rundown for you guys. I thought it might be kind of fun to do this off the top every week, which makes sense. Guess what? It's going to be a lot like the other shows. We're going to talk about wrestling.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. We're just telling you what we're going to talk about.
In a certain order of importance, yeah. But this way I can just be like, I told you we weren't going to talk about this till later. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to do the results of our Mania predictions, because we never did do that in React to Mania, and maybe we'll touch on some stuff we might have forgotten organically over the show. We're going to talk a little bit of TakeOver, because we promised we would do that. We'll just gloss over it. And then obviously, it was the Raw and Smackdowns after Mania, and then we're going to talk a little Greatest Royal Rumble, and then we have something real fun to end the show, the Fantasy Shakeup. Yeah.
So very excited.
It's going to be great. We're going to pick like 3-4 men, I think 4 women. We got like 2 tag teams, and then 3 call-ups. Kind of a wild card category. Who knows?
Maybe I did more than you did. I don't know.
You can't. No. You got to pick the same amounts as me. But then it's all going to be lopsided.
I guess we'll see.
What the hell are you doing to me, Maddie?
I guess we'll see.
Maddie, you're trying to ruin the show. You're trying to railroad the show already, Maddie.
It's what I do. It's how I roll.
It is. Every week at the end of the show, you railroad it too.
Hey, let me ask you a question.
What?
Bruce Pritchard, new show, WWE Network.
Right.
So are you going to be at the end of every WWE Network show with Bruce Pritchard?
Absolutely not.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Something tells me I'm not going to be on WWE Network making dick jokes. That's just me. I don't even know if I'm going to be on the actual podcast until it shows up on my pod feed, because, I don't know. I send them stuff, and then half the time it ends up on their YouTube channel because they're like, "Oh, those episodes are already in the can. Sorry, man." I'm like, "Well, somebody." It's
It'd be worth asking, man. You never know. Maybe they'll be like, "Yeah, give us more of a PG version that we can kind of just put on."
Yeah, maybe
audio.
I'll float it their way. Right now, I'm just trying to get it so that I actually make the actual audio episodes.
Do it
that people listen to, but
do it.
I love those guys, but they are way busier than I am, and I complain about being busy. So it's like I send them stuff, and then I don't know.
Do it.
Stop it.
Okay.
You're freaking me out.
Do it.
That's enough. Okay. One thing I kind of wanted to talk about before we get into Mania and TakeOver and all that ish.
Sure.
Was this story about Brock Lesnar apparently having a bit of a backstage altercation with Vince after the WrestleMania main event that went oh so well?
Yeah, I think I'm calling work on this one.
Okay.
I actually, just before we started, I was kind of running through some Twitter and so on, trying to find out if there's any recent news before we record and sound like idiots later. But it actually sounds like the Lesnar deal was verbally agreed to the night that Paul Heyman said if he loses at Mania, you won't ever see us again.
Right.
And then it was actually signed before the match on Sunday, and Roman knew all about it. So
I mean, that sounds about right.
Yeah, so I mean, it's still possible that the outcome changed through the match, but it sounded like Roman knew all about it, and that Lesnar was gonna go.
I'm pretty sure the only people that really knew the finish were Roman, Brock, and Vince. I don't know if I really buy this story.
It says it was kept quiet, so nobody knew except
it's just
for the
it's a good way to kind of pull the shade over people's eyes. It's also a good way if they need an excuse about the color, like saying that Vince didn't approve of it. He got mad about the color.
Yeah,
whatever. If it's not kayfabe, I chalk it up to frustration. The match was a lemon. Brock hated the reaction. He's not as over as he used to be. He kind of knows it, although I don't know if he really cares.
I don't think he does.
Really, really, really comes off like a guy who's just there for the paycheck.
Yeah.
So
yeah. No,
yeah.
I mean, I think at this point, though, they have to expect that reaction for Lesnar because everyone knows he's leaving. Sure, it didn't happen as quickly as we first thought, but it's still going to happen. Like, let's not get confused here. He did resign, but I would be shocked if he lasts longer than a couple weeks after the Greatest Royal Rumble. This isn't going past May.
Want to run through our predictions and how they went real quick before we do
Sure.
a little takeover chat?
Yeah.
Or how do you want to do this?
Yeah, so, well, we kind of did go through everything. So, for Andre the Giant Battle, I don't know why I can't say that. My God.
The Battle Royal Giant, yeah.
Andre the Giant Battle Royal. You actually picked Matt Hardy.
Of course.
Which was very impressive for you.
The trophy has to remain unbroken, Matt.
Yeah,
He's
sure.
the only one who can maintain its condition throughout space and time.
Yeah.
Through many very different vessels. Yes. Yeah. And he'll speak to it on TV for like a year. So it's
for the next year. I did not pick Matt Hardy, so I lost that one. Women's Battle Royal, you chose...
Don't worry, the Dana Brooke thing will work out for you.
I love... So I did pick Dana Brooke again because I didn't care.
Yeah.
You picked Becky, but yeah, the fact that Dana Brooke was the second one eliminated was absolutely hilarious to me. So Cedric and Mustafa, we both picked Cedric, so we were both right there. Seth, Miz, and Balor, we both picked Balor. We were wrong there. We also both picked Oshkosh Bagaska. So we were both wrong there. We both picked Rusev with our hearts, knowing full well that wasn't going to be the finish. Of course,
like what a slam dunk that would have been. Honestly,
100%. Why they wouldn't capitalize on it, I don't understand.
Mahal?
Yeah,
I don't even know if we really talked about that on React.
We didn't.
Jinder Mahal?
I get why he has it at least for the next month, or at least until after April 27th.
But I mean, yeah, I guess. But that's sort of a generalization there too. He's Indian. He's not, he's not Saudi.
Yeah, but it's still he kind of identifies with that part of the world than maybe Randy Orton does, which we'll touch on as well. You picked Angle and Rousey to win. You also picked the Bludgeon Brothers, which you kind of got on a bit of a roll here. I picked Triple H and Stephen Usos, which I think I was more hoping than trying to predict. We both picked Taker if there was going to be a match. You picked DB and Shane. We both picked Nia. We both picked Knack. And we were both wrong, obviously, there. We both picked Braun and Mystery Partner, which the longer I've let this sit, I loved Nicholas.
Yeah.
The execution wasn't great, but the idea was
still a bad
great.
idea. You'll never change my
Sure. And then we both picked
feeling.
Roman. So it looked like you had...
Let me tell you, people, about
here.
my best friend. He's Nicholas. Do-do-do-do-do.
4, 5, 6, 7. So you got 8 right. It looks like I only got 4 right. So
I got 8 right.
You got 8 right.
Wow.
Yeah.
I kicked your ass,
You
man.
did. And you know what? I
hardwayed you with my elbow, bro.
You did.
You got a crimson mask of embarrassment.
It's funny after like going through this and kind of putting it down and taking a hard look at it. I was like, man, I got to start.
You realized how wonderful I am.
Well, I got to stop predicting based on what I hope happens rather than what I actually think will happen. So I kind of fantasy book when I make my predictions, which was just stupid, I guess.
That would make you not the mark. So just keep marking out, man.
True.
I'll soak in the W's and you can keep being a mark.
Fair enough. So that was that. Do you want to do takeover predictions as well, or do you want to do that while we talk about it?
Yeah, let's just move over to takeover. I don't. Do you still have the results written down for takeover?
I do.
All right, why not run through them real quick?
Sure,
just, real fast.
Fast. So North American title, you picked Ricochet. I picked Velveteen Dream. We both lost. Even though you did originally pick Adam Cole and then changed your...
I used to do that on Top Turnbuckle when I was doing that pod, and every time I ever changed my pick, I paid for it.
Yep. So,
Yeah.
anyways,
Never again.
AOP Undisputed Era versus Strong and Dunn. Although we didn't guess the actual outcome, we both picked Undisputed Era, so we were both right there. Black and Almas, we both picked Almas. Ember and Shayna, we both picked Shayna, and
right.
Gargano and Ciampa, we both picked Ciampa. So
Wow. We suck at NXT stuff.
we were both 2 for 2. There was only one that we didn't pick the same, and we were both wrong anyway. So.
Yeah. Okay, speaking of NXT TakeOver, obviously the best match on the card for certain reasons. I mean, it's debatable depending on what kind of wrestling you like. But Gargano and Ciampa, the pacing and storytelling epic, the emotional roller coaster that was Gargano and Ciampa, possibly the best match of the weekend to most people.
Oh no, definitely.
Okay,
there was nothing better.
Yeah,
maybe the Rousey match, but no.
Again, for different reasons.
Yeah, again for different reasons,
match.
And for different reasons, I actually thought the North American Championship ladder match would kind of outpace this one. But
before
my God,
we move on to that, can I just make a point right now? I don't feel like it's as difficult to book a 6-man car crash like that. It's like just set the ladder up and do your finishers on it, and people will go nuts. Yeah, like those matches are great. It's obviously there's a lot of moving parts. It's hard to get everybody in position to get these things right. It's a spot fest. Yeah. It's going to be great. It's going to get over because there's a lot of violence and crazy devastation in it, and people are going to enjoy it. So I don't think you could call that the best match on the card. And I think Gargano Ciampa took a lot more effort to really try to orchestrate that. They
also, I think they were clocked at like 39 minutes or something. Like they were 40 minutes that match.
It was long,
and it started with Ciampa coming out to no music and just letting the crowd rain down on him.
It was great.
There's not a more hated guy in WWE right now than Tommaso Ciampa.
If you can take a power bomb onto a concrete floor and all it does is elicit a "you deserve it" chant, you've done your job, my friend. You have been a heel.
Man, like it's so hard to talk about the match because it was just so damn good, and it had its spots, like where it was a spot, obviously like the powerbomb onto the concrete tables and the announcer table and all that fun stuff. But it just like I felt like they told a brilliant story. They started slow, and I was thinking, ooh, I don't know where this is going to go. But man, it was just the way they built up, and you could kind of feel like the anger and the hate build up through it as well. It was perfect.
Well, what they did was they worked in a lot of just pacing and serious brutality with kind of spots and rests in between, and they really didn't rush anybody. I feel like they gave them literally as much time as they wanted. Yeah. And it allowed Tommaso Ciampa to just kind of work Johnny Gargano over and try to elicit response from the crowd and get to the point where they really felt like maybe Johnny can never get back into this. Yeah. Like when he just sat on the ring apron and clapped and looked at the audience, just like, "Yay, Johnny! This is not going so well for you guys, is it?" It was good. I mean,
he is a heel, by the way.
He's really, really good.
Oh man,
he's really, really good. He might show up in our shakeup. Yeah. It kind of reminded me of, obviously with a much different work level, but it reminded me of the days when guys, talk about going 60 minutes Broadway all the time. Yeah. Like they just half and half. They obviously had to take it slow, but they had the crowd the whole time, and a lot of it would just be one little punch to the face and a guy selling it for a while, and it would always, matter the whole time. Everything, there's no wasted movement. It was all very methodical, and this was kind of what that was. It was very old school wrestling, with a bit of new school kind of brutality to it, and some of the stuff that Johnny can do is obviously not stuff you would have seen from Ric Flair or Dusty Rhodes back in the day, but it's still good stuff, baby.
But I mean, even it had such a brutal finish to it too. Like the way the false finishes were great. There was actually a spot, or no, that was a different match, but we'll talk about that in a second. But it just like the false finishes were great, but there weren't too many of them that it felt like, okay, this is getting out of hand. And then it just, the way it ended with him taking his knee brace and just right across the face, like legitimately, I was like, man, that has got to hurt. Like just having
Take
that.
Notes, John Cena. Oh, that's how to lock in an STF, buddy.
Yeah. It looked brutal, and the fact that he tapped instantly and there wasn't this weird long drawn out like, oh, is he gonna? It was.
They did that twice this weekend. The insta tap, it was perfect. Yeah. Aside from the fact that Stephanie McMahon has the best ground defense in the world.
But even the way
she's
that
a judo
ended,
master. Okay, let's
No,
move
for
along.
sure.
We can't talk about this
Yeah,
forever,
fair enough.
obviously.
It was a great match.
Just 5 more minutes
Yeah,
here, tops,
yeah.
on NXT.
All right, let's North American Championship.
North American Championship, I felt like I was real close to being on the money when I was picking what they should do with Adam Cole last week, because instead of, we just didn't picture the North American Championship match being first, but I got to think of that next time going forward, that maybe the matches we think are first are not. But the best storyline to have overall would have been Adam Cole winning and then being tired and having to defend the title or try to win next, and then still somehow coming out with it and having this really powerful faction afterwards in the Undisputed Era. And we got it. And the match itself, obviously great, good debut for Ricochet. I think everyone's always going to remember that moonsault off the tipping ladder.
The tipping ladder, yeah.
And there was something for everyone. I mean, you had the freak accident on the ladder. You had Velveteen jumping off with the big elbow. You had him doing a fireman's carry to EC3 on the ladder.
It was a
Killian
good
Dane
match.
literally murdered EC. I think it was Ricochet who he landed on with Adam Cole.
He just like sat on him like man.
Like it didn't hurt Adam Cole at all.
Well, he was just holding him like a freaking baby almost.
I'm going to hold you and then jump off this ladder.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been better if he body slammed him on it, but either way, it looked brutal. Both of those shots were pretty terrible by Lars and by Killian Dane on the outside with the bridge, but it was a good match. It was a spa fest. It was a ton of fun. It got me out of my seat more than once with what they were doing, and it was exactly what we thought it was going to be, and it was really cool that Adam Cole won. So,
you know what spot didn't get as much crowd reactions as I thought it should have was when Killian Dane ran at Lars and jumped for a crossbody, and Lars just caught him and then gave him like the world's strongest slam, the front slam.
No, I agree with you.
That's a real feat, man.
Because even the commentators,
that dude,
because even like Nigel and they were definitely like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, they were trying to sell it.
Yeah, they were selling it hard. But it's almost like the crowd inside didn't realize.
Believe it? Oh my god! He got him.
Speaking of that, have you seen the Facebook video of Mario? Oh my god! If you haven't seen it, look up the video. I think it's on Facebook. Probably it's on everywhere
WWE's
now.
Twitter. It's on WWE's Twitter.
Look at the video of Mauro Ranallo calling NXT and how into it he gets when he calls this stuff. He's kind of like a fan at ringside.
Sure.
It's pretty awesome.
It's his whole body goes into every Mamma Mia.
He jumps out of his chair.
I'm very excited the whole time.
Like you can see the veins popping in his forehead. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
And then obviously, the Adam Cole thing makes sense now of him winning that because of what happened in the tag match.
Yep, Roderick Strong joining the Undisputed Era. This is pretty cool. They started this back, like after Survivor Series? When Undisputed Era first came into NXT and they asked him, they propositioned him, he said no. And
it's funny because I hadn't even thought of that actually even up until right now.
No, it was a long time ago. They did this
he was all
ago.
face, right? So it was like he's not going to do it. But man, did Roderick needed something.
They asked Roderick Strong months ago. He said no.
He needed something. He was kind of getting lost in the shuffle here. So this is kind of this is great for him. Makes sense of the whole Adam Cole thing now as well. Definitely like
Kyle O'Reilly makes me want to punch him in the face.
He's just got
he heals so well, and I don't know, he just has a stupid face, and he plays that stupid guitar.
I think
even the look on his face when he realized Roddy was joining them, I was just like, oh, I hate you so much.
It's like it reminds me of Step Brothers at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
You did a great job, but I want to punch you in the face.
That's exactly what it's like.
And then Alistair, women's title match as well.
Yeah, that was good. When we were watching this, I was like, see, this is what Ronda Rousey needs to be like. She'll never be this good. And then she blew it away.
She blew it away, yeah.
It was a good match. Cool match. I felt like it almost babyfaced Shayna Baszler a bit because they did the whole spot where she had to put her elbow or shoulder back in spot. And then she won the match by choking out Ember Moon with one hand.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can see where you're thinking where, that's kind of a babyface move, but I think
Ember Moon, be very quiet. I'm going to tap out.
I feel like it just showed how much of a badass she was. More than, I didn't even think that it was putting her over as a face.
You to an audience, though, man.
True.
When you're a badass.
Does. But
I know a certain guy who got over being a badass, man.
But it was, that sort of thing was awesome. And then I love that even at the end, like you said, using her own hair to lock in a move.
Yeah, it's pretty badass.
That was pretty awesome.
One arm.
I felt bad for them.
Here's my one thing. If you're listening, Triple H, Vince McMahon, whoever's booking these shows, it's okay for a baby face to occasionally tap out, okay? I'm sick of the pass out spot. As soon as she locked it in, I saw it coming a mile away. Yeah. And I know maybe people like it. That's fine. Like John Cena doesn't tap, he passes out in the accolade. It's happened again recently with other guys. They pass out in moves. Oh, he fought to the bitter end. He passed out. Ember Moon's gonna pass out. Oh, my mamma mia. I'm just like, just tap out.
Yeah.
Just give up. I don't know. Did people always pass out in Shayna's move, though? It's kind of a rear naked choke. Maybe it's a sleeper.
No, they usually just tap immediately.
Yeah. See? Just tap out.
So
you're not so
I can't
amazing
disagree with you. Yeah.
with your little compact frame that you're not tapping out when Shayna Baszler has her arm around your neck.
Yeah, it's just overused. It's human nature. I mean,
it's overused.
Even UFC folks, like if you want to go that far, they tap. I think only recently I've seen maybe 2 people pass out from not tapping. Yeah. So it's just. I agree. They do it too much. It's okay in the moment here and there, but I feel like we see it too much. You didn't agree on Saturday,
Maddie. I was texting you.
I know,
but I like it.
I know. It took some time to. I don't think I said I didn't like it. I just understood it. But
my initial takes often suck. This one sticks with me. My initial take on Gargano Ciampa, I was like, it was really long. Yeah. And then I watched it again last night, and I was like, it was really good.
Yeah. But then I felt bad for the women having to go right after the ladder match.
Yeah. Like crowd wasn't that hot for it. No, speaking of women, so Zelina Vega.
Yeah.
Her involvement in the Aleister Black match was fantastic.
So good.
They integrated her like 5 or 6 times.
Yeah.
Each time was like a quick jab to the face.
Yeah, it was like
Muhammad
believable,
Ali.
And it was believable.
It was like she slid in lightning quick.
Yeah.
Somehow pulled off some amazing Hurricane Rana, or just like, I don't know what else she would do. Like
she pulled him off the apron once.
Pulled him off. Yeah, she threw
pulled
him into
him
the
out
stairs
off a
with a
pin
Hurricane
once.
Rana before.
Yeah.
Like just she put Almas's leg on the rope.
Yeah,
like, it was all just
that
so
one
quick.
was perfect too.
And her just reactions after, her facial expression, she was really good. The
She's
match itself was obviously pretty great too. It wasn't
shocking
Gargano
ending though. Like
yeah.
I didn't expect Black to win.
I didn't either. This title reign with Almas has been really good.
He's been great, and I think he's better. Like I almost feel like Black doesn't need the title to be as over as he is. But
that's true.
But we feel that way about Rusev too, right?
Yeah.
So.
Well, maybe they do a quick swap, bring it back to Almas, or maybe Almas is ready for the main roster. Maybe they want another Latino star up on the main card, if you will.
I feel like we would have saw him if he was coming up already, though. Who knows?
I think they do call-ups at the Shakeup, too.
I hope so.
We'll see.
That'll probably be part of this as well.
Yeah,
but I mean, that was pretty much our takes on TakeOver. So
yeah, we've killed like 21 minutes already. So
yeah, we should probably get moving, huh?
Let's talk about the Aftermanias.
Aftermanias?
Yeah.
What happened after Mania?
They had a Raw and a Smackdown.
Oh, like every week.
Also, what happened is people came back and were called up.
Yeah, we saw some injury returns and some NXT call-ups.
So here are the returns and call-ups, okay, on Raw.
Just going to read them out.
You want to read them out, or do you want to go through them?
Yeah, let's go through it. Why not?
Okay, Raw. First off, I'd say probably the biggest return, Bobby Lashley.
The pop he got, and it was, I don't know if it was just because of the timing of it or what.
It was the surprise, too.
It was a huge surprise. I mean, there were kind of rumblings like he might be coming back, and I feel like there was something last year about him coming back, but then he got injured, whatever. But the pop reminded me of when AJ Styles debuted.
It did.
It was like a slow build of like, is this happening? Oh my God.
Yeah, they also did the thing where the crowd was reacting and then they didn't cut to the screen.
Yeah,
so
true.
You kind of had to figure it out for a second. Lashley's interesting because he's one of those guys who was pushed before he was ready on his initial run. He was there. He was a big dude, obviously super athletic, but more or less just a beast. He lacked pretty much any talking skill or charisma.
Yeah.
He was one of those guys of that mold that we always complained about, Vince pushing the monsters and it's boring and their matches aren't great and stuff. And then he left, and a lot of fans aren't really familiar with the fact that he definitely improved his game a lot at Impact Wrestling. I'm pretty sure he did some stuff in Japan. He's legitimately been an MMA fighter for the last few years too, doing stuff at Bellator and pretty successful.
Yep.
So I think we could definitely expect a better Bobby Lashley. I don't know if he's going to set the world on fire, but I was pretty damn impressed with him holding up a guy the size of Elias for like 60 minutes.
Yeah, that was awesome. And then one-handed too. And also
that was really cool.
Like, bravo to Elias to be able to hold himself up like that as well. Keep that core tight. And of course, Elias was on point.
My name is Elias, and I've been doing yoga backstage.
Elias's song was perfect. I wish I had written down the lyrics, but just the way he ended his last line with, I really want to punch you in the face. Because everyone was like, Elias is always good. So I kind of like that Elias can kind of be a jobber to these guys, and it almost doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't hurt his stock at all.
I mean, that's what he's here for.
Yeah.
I don't really expect Elias to have any great title runs. Maybe an IC belt occasionally.
Yeah.
Maybe he sneaks away with a really fun Money in the Bank win one year, and
which would be cool because
he
he would be
title
brilliant with that case.
He would be really funny.
Yeah.
I don't know how he would carry it and his guitar, but maybe he could put it in a stick in a bag on his back and walk out.
Something.
This is really going to be a long form version of our call-ups if we keep going into these kind of diatribes.
No kidding.
Also, the AOP.
Yeah, which I mean, waiting for this one for a long time.
Yeah, squashed Slater and Rhino.
Yeah. This was fully expected after they lost at NXT TakeOver. Sure. I don't know how I feel about the pushing away Paul Ellering.
No, Paul Ellering. Paul Ellering's never done anything for me in this current incarnation. He's not the same guy he was when he was with the Road Warriors, the Legion of Doom. Not. I just kind of, I mean, I don't want to sound mean, but he just kind of seemed like this kind of strange old man that's with these two beasts who doesn't really...
Well, he commands them, right? Like, even when they walk to the ring, they don't get in the ring until he puts his fist out. So, I mean, it's little things like that where I'm like, I kind of like that, but...
I don't like managers, pal.
I know.
280.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn.
But, I don't know. It's kind of weird.
So old.
It's kind of weird. Like, was his contract just up? I don't really know.
The amount of travel, do you think that the guy his age maybe is just not feeling it? Like,
maybe.
He doesn't want to do house shows. He doesn't want to be in Biloxi on a Friday night and then... fucking Minnesota the next day. Like,
yeah.
He's just like, you know what? Do your thing on your own.
It's interesting. I hope, I mean, they're going to get a push. I just hope they kind of don't get lost without.
We'll see.
They don't talk, right? They never talk. So
I don't see a tag team that looks like that being just squashed by Vince. I think he likes that kind of thing.
Yeah, but they'll get squashed by the crowd if they can't talk.
Maybe.
That's my only concern. But anyways, that's AOP. Good to see them up.
Bludgeon Brothers aren't getting killed by the crowd. The crowd are still reacting to them, and that's
true.
Ridiculous. So
true. Very true.
Ember Moon, she came up. She helped Nia Jax win a tag match against Bliss and Nikki. That was fine. I'm not sure if Ember's like totally ready for this, but who knows?
I felt that too. I mean, there's not much more she can do in NXT, so it makes sense. They got to
come up at some point, right?
And I still think that there's going to be a women's tag division of some sort. I don't know how that'll work or look.
It's possible, but we had the Iconics come up. So
I hate that, and it was even what happened on SmackDown with Paige. But I hate that they announce the name before the music hits. Like, just give us that little bit of surprise or excitement for the beginning of the entrance music.
I feel that. That makes sense to me.
Like, and now here's my partner, Ember. Like, shut up. Just let the music play. So
I think
that's the only thing for me
such
with
suckers
that.
for the way they used to do it, where people's music would just hit and they would come out.
Yeah, it's almost like there was no cue. There was nothing. It's just the music would hit and you'd be surprised, and it was.
They did it with Jeff Hardy at least.
Yes, they did. See, perfect example.
People
perfect
liked it.
Example. Nobody thought that he was coming out. So.
Speaking of music and entrances, No Way Jose debuted because the card needs somebody to just
another example.
Be fun, I guess.
Why did he get a pre-commercial promo that he was about to debut? Just play his damn music.
I don't know. That's kind of
so stupid.
Stick around because after this, No Way Jose is going to debut, and you might not even know who that is.
And they showed him like doing a conga line in the commercial.
Well, maybe that wasn't a commercial. Maybe that was just a camera backstage.
Maybe. I don't know.
We have live a shot backstage where No Way Jose is just fucking lit right now, guys.
But it's just like, I feel like it, because you could hear the pop in the stadium for when they put the preview up. And then when he came out, it was just like, oh, well, we knew this was going to happen.
How did you feel?
And then he did the exact same thing.
How did you feel about this No Way Jose appearance?
It's a bit of a weird one because they didn't really push him in NXT. He had some storylines, but nothing crazy. So I think it's weird that he's come up.
This year's Elias.
It is, but Elias, I think you could know that it was going to happen. Whereas this guy, I feel like he's going to be a Dillinger. He's going to be a jobber for the most part.
He's fucking Adam. He's Adam Rose. It's Adam Rose 2018.
Yeah, fair enough.
He came out with the party bus and what the hell were they? The rosebuds.
Yeah. Ugh.
Not with the rosebuds.
Yuck.
Don't be a lemon.
I don't expect big things for No Way.
That's
Jose.
him sucking on his sucker. Don't be a lemon.
I feel like No Way is going to be more like Mojo Rowley. I'm not acknowledging you. I'm doing it on purpose.
Acknowledge my Adam Rose, baby.
I'm staring you in the eye, letting you know that I'm ignoring what you are doing.
Is it weird staring in my eye when I'm sucking on a sucker?
Okay. But I mean, we did have
no, I'm not done with this Jose thing.
Oh.
I fucking hated it.
Oh, fair enough.
I hated it.
Okay.
The conga line,
Yeah.
the people dressed like in Mardi Gras stuff. I know everybody was dancing. I guess it's fun. I didn't like it. I don't like this character. I didn't like it in NXT.
Fair enough.
I only liked it when it got a little more serious, but
I feel like it'll be big with
me.
kids,
I'm a
though.
boring traditionalist.
Like, I think it'll be big with kids and with the females.
That's why he's there.
Who want to dance, and it'll be fun. He's not going to win
It's
anything.
a house show act. It's
Yeah.
a house show act.
Sure.
And it's a guy who's probably going to get, demolished one week when like Brock Lesnar decides to show up after a 5 month
Sick
absence.
of your stupid song. Yeah. Yeah, that's all. I don't have much to say about it. I like No Way Jose in NXT a little bit just because I thought it was fun, but I don't expect big things for him.
Samoa Joe.
Who?
Samoa Joe came back, real badass way to return, called out Roman Reigns.
So good.
Basically said, when you're done losing to Brock Lesnar again, I'll be waiting for you.
You are a failure.
Oh, man, so good.
Yeah. He's
the only two unrelated Samoans in the history of WWE.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. I'm sure they're related. They've got to be somewhere.
Nope.
Cousins
Samoa
of
Joe was the
cousins.
only one that was never related to The Rock or Alpha or Sika.
Or just the Rock kind of spawned everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a
Well,
great
technically,
return.
I guess like Alpha and Sika. And
I feel like Joe's been severely missed.
He was great.
Storyline wise, he's so good. Even his mic skills are unbelievable.
you know who I really want to see wrestle Samoa Joe? Daniel Bryan. I feel like that'd be a great match.
Yeah, I suppose.
Great promos. What's your
Yeah,
reaction
I mean,
about
it
that?
could happen. I'd like to see a build up of it, I guess, first.
Well, yeah,
I
I just
care,
mean
but
eventually.
I
Bro.
feel like we just want to see Daniel Bryan wrestle everyone too. At this
That's
point.
true. I want to see Daniel Bryan. I want to see him wrestle AJ Styles.
What? Oh, maybe we'll see that.
Maybe it'll happen on the house that AJ Styles built.
Yeah.
Jeff Hardy, we already kind of hit on that. Do you think he'll be kind of in the IC title picture for now?
Nope.
Maybe for good? What
Nope.
do you think?
Not at all. I think he was just, how do we introduce him without immediately making him Brother Nero? I have an idea.
I don't think he's going to be
Six-man
Brother Nero
tag.
immediately.
They called him Brother Nero. Bray Wyatt called him Brother Nero in the backstage.
They did, but that almost felt like a fun little like complete aside. I think they see money in Jeff as a singles guy. I think that Matt has Bray for now, and I think that Jeff's going to do his own thing. I think he's going to be Jeff.
You could be right.
I think that was like two ships sailing and passing in the night, man.
Yeah. That promo though was pretty funny.
Okay, I wanted to talk about this later, but holy shit, I laughed hard.
Oh yeah.
And it wasn't because of the actual interaction with Brother Nero and Matt. If anything, that was just okay, if not a little corny. I was like, why? Jeff's kind of awkward with this. Why is he speaking like Matt when he's not actually Brother Nero? I don't get it. But then when they pull back the camera and Seth and Finn are there, like, what the hell was that?
The confusion on their face was great. Even just the way they're like, what?
That was funny.
And I like
really
that Jeff didn't say anything. He just kind of shrugged and walked away.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's something like that where I'm just like, okay, well, I feel like they're going to play into this.
They're having fun with it.
Yeah.
Later on, I'm going to have a little prediction on where I think they should go.
Okay,
with
cool.
Those characters.
Cool.
If I could get my fucking words out.
I look forward to hearing it.
Smackdown side.
Yeah.
Not a lot.
No, not too
The
much.
debut, the Iconics. A little name change from the Iconic duo. Now the Iconics.
Yeah, I don't
We're here
know.
with the Iconics.
I don't know if I like the Iconics. Like, I like them. I don't know if I like the name, the Icon. Like, what was wrong with the Iconic duo? Maybe
It was
because now they can add more people to it without having to call it the Iconic Threes.
Maybe. That's a good point. Also, I wrote down here possible women's tag division. It sounds a little more like a tag team.
Yep.
If they do a women's tag thing. So
Absolutely.
I don't know. They're looking for new stuff all the time. If they want to introduce something new this year, that could be a women's tag team tournament or something on the main roster. I don't know.
And these guys did. I mean, they had a couple months of like kind of main story stuff.
They had really cooled in NXT though. They didn't have much going on down there.
No, they were kind of gone since essentially Survivor Series.
Are you excited for them on the main roster? Because
yes, because I think that's where I was going. Is I think they're both very talented, and I think they'll put on some great matches. And I like their duo persona where they built it up in NXT. Whereas right now on the women's roster, you just have a bunch of singles who every once in a while drink.
We're
tea
so
together.
iconic.
Yeah, like. I think they're going to be great. They're great wrestlers. They're great athletes.
See, I don't know about great wrestlers.
You haven't seen them enough then.
They're strong personalities, and they're definitely going to do well
For sure.
on main roster television with a strong personality. That's probably like one of the most important things on the actual WWE shows, because if you really don't have a lot of personality, you have to be really, really good to get over that hump. They never thrilled me on NXT. I thought that they were great kind of mean girls. I did enjoy their performance on SmackDown. I thought the beatdown on Charlotte was pretty cool. So
yeah,
the jury's still out on them for me. I've never loved them.
That's fine.
But I've enjoyed their stuff.
I think they're going to be good. I think they'll be pushed. Like you said, I think there's going to be a tag team division for the women, and I think they're kind of the first perfect champions, really.
Before we go to one more kind of small debut, because that was really it on SmackDown. There was pretty notable happening that happened
change
right after this beatdown by the Iconics. Carmella cashed in.
Yeah.
And I think the one takeaway from this segment is that we absolutely need an inquisition into the confusion displayed by WWE officials. Mike Keota, what's your problem, bro? Why don't you understand what Carmella wants you to do?
Do you have a skit here or something?
No.
Oh, I see. You're asking.
I'm asking. Mike Keota.
I'm looking at you like,
I've
okay,
built in so many characters in this
yeah.
show that if I address somebody, Maddie thinks I'm...
Well, you shock me so much.
What does Mike Keota sound like? Just a dude? I don't know.
Does he talk?
Oh, yeah, man. I was really confused. Mike Keota, why were you so damn confused? Well, she came out. She had a briefcase, and she was like, I want to cash in. And
Sounds
I looked
just
down,
like him.
and I was like, what? and then she was like, cash in. And I was like, huh? And then she's like, cash in! And then I was like, what? What the
That's
fuck?
pretty much how it went down. I think
I got to get Jimmy Corderas on this show.
Oh man, we
I
should.
got to ask him. Why is it so hard, man?
We should. No, I actually think that the last few weeks of her trying to cash in but being unsuccessful without actually cashing in, it was the perfect build up for the way this took place, because even the beatdown, they were chanting her name like, this is it, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And then it didn't happen.
It was funny.
It was so long, and then the Iconics music hit, and you're like, oh, okay, well, maybe she's gonna go to Raw, who knows.
By the way, one thing I forgot to bring up, I'm really glad they went with Billy Kay's music over Peyton Royce's music.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Because I don't think we need to hear every week like that's Peyton Royce's music.
I just had a flashback to Paul Heyman. Bap, 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 bap.
And then Peyton Royce comes out and
yeah, no, I actually thought this cash in was perfect. And I think the whole ref thing is because, 3 or 4 weeks in a row, she tried to cash in and it didn't work. And he's like, Are you sure? Are you sure? And
it
even
was
then,
so over the top.
But even the way they built it up, I was like, this is perfect, because now Charlotte is going to win. Like, she's going to fail this cash in.
I think that they were trying to troll us by making us feel like Charlotte was going to recuperate so much energy. Yeah. But, like, it's so frustrating, and it really makes no sense for somebody to be so confused. Like, you get it. You've been here 4 years, Mike Keota.
You know how this works.
Not 4 years, but, like, for years. You've been here for decades. I remember seeing you when I was a kid. You've seen Money in the Bank since its inception. You know that when they show up with a briefcase, just take it over to the timekeeper, ring the goddamn bell. This match is happening, pal.
Yeah. But I think
the holdup, Keota?
I think that was the point, is they wanted to build this up, so we thought after all this time she's going to cash it in and fail, and then she lands a great super kick.
I don't know. I'm still hot about this, Maddie. We're about to
move
on to talk
hilarious.
about Paige becoming the general manager on SmackDown. But if I'm Paige, my first order of business, I want Mike Keota's head. This guy is suspended indefinitely. I'm possibly taking his job away from him. He could have cost Carmella, the very first women's Money in the Bank winner, her title conversion on her like 4th chance, but that's irrelevant because she screwed all those other ones up. But that's fine. We'll talk about that at a later date. Keota, I want your ass.
Actually, just one more thing. I don't know if you...
Wait. I have word from the back. Mike Keota, you're fired.
See, that's more along the lines of what I was expecting earlier. So, just one last thing I want to touch on. After she did her thank yous and all that crap,
yes.
Did you see James Ellsworth tweet, "Oh, I guess I had nothing to do with this," and it's him sitting on top of the ladder with the briefcase?
That's great. Yeah. Well, the classic heel trope of thanking yourself and saying you didn't need anybody's help. It makes sense.
And then, obviously the biggest thing.
The crowd thought she was going to cry, by the way. When she started to tear up, the crowd reacted. It was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
And then Paige.
And then Paige, yeah.
Again, this was shame. Like, here's our new general manager. Like, just let her music play. We know who it is.
Well, yeah.
No, just
you know
let
what?
it play.
They always announce the general managership.
I hate it.
Last year, Vince did it too.
I know. Just let the
Raw
music
general
play.
manager, Kurt Angle.
Just let the music play. Let us get excited. Let us have that.
He sucks. Goddamn, you suck, pal.
Let us have that 3 seconds of, oh my God, who's it going to be? I think I know who it is, but
OMG.
maybe it's not. Anyway,
Who's it going to be?
I think it's great for her. I saw something where she actually didn't find out until Tuesday morning.
Oh, really?
That she was going to be the general manager. So her speech on Monday on Raw about retiring, and I think at that point it was genuine, and she actually thought, like, this is it for me in the ring.
Yeah,
so.
what a real roller coaster, right? Some highs come from the lows.
Yeah.
Hopefully she can take a page out of Corey Graves' book and just make this into a positive for her career.
Yeah.
I don't want to disparage Paige too much. I actually I find her voice really hard to take sometimes. I don't know how much I'm going to enjoy seeing her on TV every
a lot
week.
when she gets excited.
Yeah, she just has.
But I mean, we've
old
dealt with
voice.
Vicky Guerrero for how long? So
That's true. It was part of her charm.
Yeah.
Excuse me!
Actually, just as you said that, did you watch the WWE 24?
I did not.
On the women.
I have to see the Andre doc too.
They show. I haven't seen it yet either, but they showed. So they did some backstage stuff, obviously, and they showed Vicky doing that with the mic and all the women behind her laughing and so on. It was pretty good. Yeah, it was pretty good.
But Paige, obviously a very emotional retirement speech. Pretty good moment. I thought it was really poetic the way that the "This Is Your House" chant was super sad on Monday, and super victorious on Tuesday.
It was cool.
It was really a cool moment. You know what? A lot of people think of Paige as somebody whose real strength is talking, and they were enjoying her with Absolution and stuff. So hopefully there's a lot of good to come out of this as her as SmackDown GM. It makes sense for Daniel Bryan to retire. That means we're going to see him more often as a wrestler, and he doesn't want to be the GM.
No, he never wanted that in the
first.
first place. So I mean, Shane, he told us he's back as a full-time wrestler. So
Yeah, there have been rumors of Double J being the new SmackDown general manager.
Thank God he's not.
It could have been Smack Nuts.
I don't
It's going to
think
be a tag team, Slappy.
I think it would have been fine, and we would have just been like, yeah, okay, it makes sense. He's back. He's a Hall of Famer. That's fine. But I like the idea of Paige doing it rather than Jay.
Yeah. By the way, Sasha and Bayley wrestled next week on Raw because after that match that Sasha had with Mandy Rose and all that confusion, they just keep stretching this out, pulling us along.
I feel like that confusion they had on Monday, we saw that exact same thing a month ago.
I know. And then it got heated up, and then they brought it back down.
Like-
now they're going to set it up again to boil again. Next week's going to be a big show with the shakeup, so maybe it'll be something.
Who knows? You know what we forgot though on Raw? Probably the biggest thing to happen.
You're right. There was a relinquishing of the tag titles.
I don't know how we forgot
someone
that.
had to retire, and something equally as tragic.
Terrible.
Myself and Nicholas had to retire the tag titles. Nicholas is literally 10 years old. He's got school in the morning, and there's a scheduling conflict.
He's got a scheduling conflict. I mean, he's in 4th grade. The delivery of that was
He's
perfect.
only 10 years old. He's literally in the 4th grade.
But how about the pop that Nicholas got when he came out from
He
behind?
did.
Raw?
He's becoming kind of a little folk hero. I don't know. It was still bad. Let's be honest.
The
It would have
execution
been
was
more
terrible.
fun at WrestleMania if somebody real came out, and we would have been really jacked up.
But at the same time, I feel like we have to have these moments of fun every once in a while. Execution was terrible. I'm not going to deny that.
Man, Braun's so damn lovable, though.
And so that's why, like, it
Him with
kind of
Nicholas.
works. And even at the time, like, I didn't like it either. But if you sit back and just have fun with it a little bit, like, listen to the pop that he got. That to me is more important
I don't
than
know
if
how
it was
much-
the big show.
I don't know how many hopes we have now for like an imminent Braun Strowman title run where he's just breaking stuff and being a beast anymore, because he's quickly becoming the friendly giant.
Maybe he is moving.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
know.
I don't know if I buy that either, because
The problem
everybody
is
on SmackDown.
we have to wait
small.
until after the shakeup before new stories can start, right? So even if he stays on Raw, who knows where that leads?
We got a tag team eliminator coming up. This is people just giving up titles left and right, with Dolph Ziggler retiring the US belt.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want this piece of shit.
Yeah.
Braun just being like, we got to give up these tag titles.
Yeah. Which we didn't even talk about
Tell
that.
you people about my best friend. He's 10 years old. His name is Nicholas. Beepity beep a doo doo. Get these hands.
Oh, he scats.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's scats.
Oh, nice.
He's like, well, you see the yodeling kid all over social
Oh,
media. He loved
God.
that too. He's like, yodel-leedle-loo. Get these hands. Nicholas is my best friend. You're my best friend.
Nicholas is my damn best friend. When he's done his schoolwork in like 10 years, Cesaro and Sheamus, even though Sheamus is going to be long retired because of spinal stenosis, are going to get these hands. Beedle-a-beat-a-doo-doo-doo. Scoodle-a-gal-a-beedaloo. I'm not finished with you.
I think I'm done.
Are you done? Good Lord. You see, folks, if you don't call him on it, he just does that all day.
That's not true.
All day.
That's not. I really had to get up for that.
Anyway, so yeah, that was the return to Raw.
That.
Let's get back to the Smackdown.
Wait, there was the Tag Team Eliminator Revival beat the Club.
Yeah, who cares?
I would use this season reset, one point I wanted to make here, to get the Revival on the right path.
Hey, I love the Revival.
Revive
I'm all
the Revival.
for it. They are going to lose to the Hardys next week.
Man, we're going to run into some time crunch here. Nakamura as a heel.
Amazing.
Arm to crotch. Repeatedly.
I love that he did it, which is one thing we didn't talk about on our Reactimania.
This is the crotch that Shinsuke Nakamura punched.
His heel turn. I love that he went low blow, and I love that he did it 2 more times. But that's not even the best part of what he did on SmackDown.
Crotch punch.
The best part was his interview with Renee.
So good.
So good.
Fantastic.
She was trying to be so sincere at just the way, like, I didn't mean to do that. To his wink.
I'm so sorry.
It reminded
for what I did
me
to AJ Styles. A little wink.
It reminded me of like Arrested Development with Lucille.
Oh
and
my
just
God.
like her obvious winks. Like it's just. And sorry if you haven't seen Arrested Development.
Very subtle, Mom.
Yeah.
Real nice,
then,
Mom.
And then
Nobody saw
obviously.
that.
Me no speak English.
Yeah. Oh my God. That was honestly, they've
unbelievable.
tapped into this real great Shinsuke character. Like they started right before Mania with letting him be more himself. I'd always heard that if you talk to Shinsuke, he's very easy to understand. He speaks great English and he's very charismatic. Although he's a little strange, he's awesome, like to interview or to talk to. And we didn't see that because they had him reading all these weird scripts.
Terrible
and I feel
scripts.
like, I don't know if they've just simplified it or they made it just more realistic and more genuine, and I think we're in for a real treat.
This is
with
the
Shinsuke.
perfect character for him as a heel. Not this angry guy, but this kind of like nonchalant, I don't give a crap anymore.
Yeah.
I'm funny and
just kind of jealous and angry that AJ beat him.
Yeah, I like it. I like
so
it a lot.
here's what I think too. I think we're obviously in for like a trilogy of matches, possibly culminating at maybe SummerSlam, maybe a little before that. But this might be why we were a little underwhelmed by the WrestleMania match, because they had to hold some stuff back. The card was stacked. Maybe we didn't need the dream match now. Maybe we need it later on other cards where there's not much going on.
Yep.
Because now that there's an actual heated rivalry, there's actual emotion involved, we have a real feud. Now they can take it to that next level where they start kicking each other's heads off.
Totally agree.
Where they start just flying around. There's more high spots and it's higher stakes. It's more like Gargano and Ciampa with athleticism. That's a little higher. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
Not with athletic. There was athleticism in that match too. But you know what I mean.
See where you're going with that, and I think that makes so much more sense. I mean, it's still the WrestleMania match. Still would have been better if it was better, but I can't find a way to disagree with you here. I think it's perfect to set up a better match.
That's fine. I'm always right. Also, speaking of AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan wrestled AJ Styles on free TV, and I was really happy because these guys put on a friggin' clinic on a TV match on a Tuesday night for free.
Yep.
Like 2 days after WrestleMania, and I just couldn't believe this.
It's a surprise match for everyone in the stadium too, right? Like, which is, I like when stuff like that happens. I'm sick of seeing, come out to this event in 6 months and see Charlotte versus Carmella and Asuka versus this and that. Like to have something made that night is, I don't. It's
it was
awesome.
nice.
Touches my
with a tear in your eye. You watch those two go at it. Woo!
Well, I knew it was a great match, which obviously it would be, but and then Nak laying those low blows again.
Just cock
Love
puncher.
It. Kinshasa to the back
a lot
of the head, which
cock
is great.
punching.
Yeah. Yeah.
Forearm to dick bag.
I love it.
What? I'm trying to think of funny ways to say arm to crotch.
Dick bag. You came up with dick bag.
Wrist to balls.
It's kind of more like
Crux,
elbow armpit. I don't know.
Crux to crotch.
Yeah.
That's the best. Crux to crotch. Make a t-shirt right now. Crux to crotch. We're selling it.
I prefer dick to balls. I like
dick
that one.
to balls?
Dick to balls.
Dick to balls.
Yeah, because it doesn't make sense. Just walk around town with that shirt on. Get the look.
Fist to bag.
Yeah.
Ronda Rousey broke Steph's arm again. Speaking of arms,
This
kind of a weird segment, right?
super weird. Steph introducing her as her friend after what happened. Like, I get that she's trying to save face and all that.
Yeah, she's trying to pucker up.
But it was so
kiss her
weird.
ass.
And again, Ronda coming out smiling, and I got coming out, but it was the leaving, and she was still smiling and waving. Meanwhile, there's like emergency medical personnel in the ring, and she's just in the middle of the ring waving at everyone. And I don't know.
That was kind of a funny image. Yeah. You know what I like in it too, though, and I don't hate it. She's got that kind of crazy switch, right? And it's like she's totally fine with everybody else. She's happy to be here.
Yeah.
The fans are her friends. You just don't want to be on her bad side because she'll smile, she'll be happy, and then she'll look at the person she's actually angry at, and the scowl comes out. It's like, oh wait, oh god, I am now the focus of her attention, and it's very negative. She's not happy with me whatsoever.
And I thought her execution of that was actually pretty good. Like the way she hugged her, and then she backed away, and then all of a sudden she just locked her up and stared at her for a second, kind of let the crowd.
I didn't mind
cheer
it. I didn't mind it.
It was good.
Maybe smiling and waving after was a little
After
intense.
was weird. After was weird. But even when she got on top of her and the way she slowly pulled the arm brace off, I thought that was perfect. So far off the mic, Rousey is very impressive.
Yeah.
Off the mic.
KO and Zayn battle for a job. Not much to say here. That one is going to play
match.
out. Yeah, they had a good match. They had the audience cheering for them when they both kind of couldn't get up after brawling.
Have we seen a finish like that in a long time?
They
Even
haven't
a
done
count
that in a
out,
long time.
right?
That was pretty quick.
It was pretty cool.
But we'll see how that plays out. The Woke and White segment, I already talked about that. That was really fun. New Day and Usos somehow managed to have yet another good match. I think there's a reason for this. The Usos get the rematch, obviously against the Bludgeon Brothers.
Yep.
That's great. No Basement Steve today.
What?
Shut up, Steve. I'm moving on.
God damn you. I love the Bludgeon Brothers.
We know it's tired. Randy Orton gets the U.S. title rematch. Literally no one wants this.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say about that.
So boring.
Rusev Day is over, but we'll probably hear
I get
from
why they
Rusev
do
a
it
bit later.
I get why they're doing it.
Why?
Because Rusev's probably not as over in Saudi Arabia is as a 15-year veteran like Randy Orton. Plain and simple.
Yeah, but it's a Backlash.
I thought it was that greatest Royal
no,
Rumble. Well,
it's
then
at
screw
Backlash.
that. This is stupid.
Yeah, it's dumb. Did you enjoy SmackDown or Raw better?
God, they were both really good.
They were fun.
I think I liked SmackDown better because I felt like there was some story still around and there was wrestling. I mean, there was on Raw as well, but
SmackDown had better wrestling. Raw was more fun. I think it's kind of hard to pick. I might have enjoyed SmackDown better as well, but here's why. I think it plays really well into those archetypes of Raw being the entertainment show and SmackDown having the reputation of being that wrestling show. Because we did get that wicked tag match with the Usos and the New Day again, and then we got AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan and Shinsuke Nakamura being a badass. So that was kind of fun, and the SmackDown after Mania still kind of has a newness to it.
Yeah, it does.
You know, it's like after 3 nights of wrestling, that Tuesday night rolls around and you're like, oh yeah, there's still another show. And I'm not burnt out at that point. For some reason, I was still excited for more big stuff to go. I'm like a drug addict at that point. I'm like, I need another hit.
Yeah. No, I really enjoyed it. I also feel like there was a bit more emotion involved on SmackDown with Paige joining DB and versus AJ Styles. And then we actually saw a title change, which you don't see very often. So it was pretty cool. Both were great shows, though. I don't want to slag Raw at all.
No, Raw was really fun, too.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Let's talk a little bit about the greatest Royal Rumble. The first point I just want to make here is, why is nobody talking about the fact that there's no women allowed on this card in 2018? We're going to Saudi Arabia. We're acting like it's okay that we can't have any of our women on the card.
Yeah.
This is the women's evolution. This is the company that pushes women beyond anything else. There's no mention of it. They're not even saying, like, we're just trying to make inroads. Hopefully in a couple years our women will be able to perform. But no, we're just going to sweep it under the rug and go to Saudi Arabia, have no women on the card.
Well, I think WWE themselves have to keep quiet about it, but they're not talking about it, but others are. I'm seeing it like on all the other websites, all the other wrestling websites.
WWE should be acknowledging it or not going there if your women can't perform.
Yeah, but I think you need to get there to at least get the government or whoever's in power to maybe take another look at it. It was the same thing where a couple months ago or whenever it was, Sasha against Alexa Bliss, and now I can't even think of where it was.
It was in Dubai.
But yes,
Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi. So it was great that they were allowed to
they had
wrestle.
to cover their whole bodies.
But they were the only ones that they were allowed to wrestle, and they fought for that match to get on the card. So
yeah, but you know what? That's also a bit false because Impact Wrestling had been there a couple years before, from what I've read, and then women were wrestling on that card. Again, I didn't watch it because I'm not a huge TNA.
You know
guy,
what? That's I didn't know that, so who knows? But again, they had to wrestle fully covered up. So I don't know. I think this is the first first event, and I totally get where you're coming from. It's absolutely stupid that in 2018 women aren't allowed to compete in a certain area in the world, and everyone's just like, whatever. But I think at the same time, if this helps going forward, then at least it's a first step.
Yeah, I guess
that's all I can say.
That's our political statement of the day, I guess.
Yeah.
Big stars announced, though. Chris Jericho supposed to make his return.
He's the only one I care about.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it'll be a one and done, and I'm glad that it's being streamed on the network so that we get to see him.
I'm excited to watch it.
Oh, I'm going to watch it.
Crazy.
It's going to be cool.
It's going to be on like a Friday afternoon, apparently.
Yeah.
Middle of the day.
Yep.
And obviously, the big news that was circulating throughout the Twitterverse yesterday was The Undertaker announced to wrestle our boy, Rusev, in a casket match.
Awesome.
And what people are calling a proper burial. I asked Rusev for his comment. All I got was this.
This is Rusev.
And Aiden English, I'm here
When I heard about this casket match, I thought to myself, maybe I'm getting the Triple H treatment and they're going to take me and flush my career down the tube.
You can't bury the Bulgarian
And then I
lion.
thought maybe it's a good opportunity. And then I decided to troll everyone and tell them to bury me softly. I'm just having fun.
You're hilarious, Rusev.
But seriously, I am a little concerned about my career.
It will always be Rusev Day to me.
I can take a little setback as long as this is not what happens to Rusev Day. Check me out right here. Stroking his neck with his tongue out.
It's time.
Eyes in the back of his head.
Rest in peace.
Bury me inside the casket. Bury me softly.
Undertaker, Machka.
With choke slams. Machka me softly.
Oh, Rusev.
With tombstones. Bury me softly.
Oh, Rusev Day.
With his gong. Rusev's career is crushed.
I like this match. I'm trying to think back. When was the last casket match we actually saw?
I don't remember.
Right? So
Long
it's
time.
kind of cool we're getting it. And people losing their minds about, they're finally burying Rusev for real and like getting upset about it. Everyone just needs to maybe take a chill pill a little bit. This is Rusev in the spotlight.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's actually a burial. The symbolism is strong with this one.
Which to me makes it even funnier, and it seems like they're
funny.
trolling us on purpose.
Like Rusev played into it, obviously. He tweeted out,
he did.
bury me.
Yeah.
Bury me softly, obviously.
Yeah.
Bury me softly with choke slams.
I died. But it's just like he's just playing into it. He knows how to work the crowd.
Absolutely.
Saying maybe it's time for a change.
Yeah.
All this stuff. Rusev's, he's really smart with this stuff. And he's a funny dude, so he knows when it's going to get a good reaction. And in 2018, if we're going to really look at it, like two of our favorite stars are put on a card together. And Rusev, instead of being in a 50-man battle royal where he could have just been thrown out
You just get
anywhere,
lost. Yeah.
is featured like on the poster with The Undertaker in Abu Dhabi, where both guys, I mean, Undertaker's going to get obviously massively cheered. Rusev might get massively booed, but he'll be portrayed as like a big heel.
Yeah.
He may get buried. I don't know. John Cena got buried. Obviously, Cena can afford it, but I get why people say it doesn't hurt John Cena. It would hurt Rusev. I just think that it's a good paycheck. It's a high-profile spot. And something tells me that the dead man is going to put Rusev over pretty well. Not like he's going to let him win the match, but
Yeah.
I think Rusev's going to get in some offense and look really strong.
He's not going to crush him like he did John Cena at Mania. I think I just
Undertaker crash.
I just think
I will matchka the casket.
I mean, we had going back a few weeks, like we were like, oh man, they're gonna bury him with Nakamura for a couple weeks and AJ and this and that. And actually, like looking back on it, I don't feel that like that anymore. I feel like we saw Rusev in big spots against Nakamura, AJ Styles, the U.S. Championship,
He's
and
becoming
now
a guy that they
Undertaker.
trust to have a good match.
Yeah, like they trust
a big
him enough
monster,
to put him out there.
a scary heel. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of like another big dude that the Undertaker would have wrestled back in the day. I don't know, like
Vader,
Kane,
Yokozuna.
Yokozuna. It's one of these big kind of menacing bad guys. If you want to. If you want to talk about somebody that they would put in the casket match with Taker, it's probably a guy like Rusev. Now, there's obviously something to be said for the stubbornness of Vince still trying to make him a heel.
Yeah.
Putting him against Undertaker when he's a popular babyface. I get that. Duly noted.
Yeah, duly noted.
But he's in a casket match against the Undertaker. You don't think that Rusev's happy about that? I bet Rusev was as elated as humanly possible when Stone Cold Steve Austin kicked him in the stomach and gave him the Stone Cold Stunner at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That was probably his favorite moment of his life.
We have to
Xavier
remember,
Woods loved it.
Yeah, like we have to remember that these guys were at one point fans.
Steve, you remember that time you kicked me in the stomach, then you sat down, and then I exploded?
Goddamn kid, you took that stunner like a champ.
Yeah.
Was one hell of a Stone Cold Stunner, Rusev.
I mean, this all being said, I really do hope they do something with him and give him a shot at something, or even if it's a
maybe
short
he just
run.
needs kind of a shakeup. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
by the way, The Undertaker obviously beat John Cena at WrestleMania, and we haven't had him on the show yet. That doesn't make sense.
Well, maybe. Well, he's wrestling now, so he's a little bit busier. He can't really.
He is
make
busy.
It,
he
so.
is busy, but he told me.
Oh.
I think that he would. Well, it's been hard to get a reach of him for a few days. He's really hard to get a hold of.
Fair enough.
But apparently he's going to be on the show. So let's see if we can get a hold of him. Mr. Undertaker, are you there? Undertaker? Oh, there he is, Mr. Undertaker.
I'm here. I'm here.
What are you doing?
I'm just doing jumping jacks, trying to stay limber. My hip feels fucking great.
Wow, he's really just excited. Do you want me to leave you alone?
No, I'm ready for anything. This is my yard. Go ahead, boy. Shoot.
Well, it looks like you were trolling us all along and decided to show up at WrestleMania to wrestle John Cena. What made you change your mind?
Actually, I didn't just beat John Cena. I sent him straight to hell.
Okay, sorry, you sent him straight to hell, whatever. Why did you finally accept his challenge? Can we get some closure here?
I told you the criteria when we first spoke. And when that guy who cleans the Superdome bathrooms told me they found my jacket and hat, I decided to make it official right then and there. I am a man of my word.
Okay, so you were in the Superdome, but didn't actually accept the match until some custodian found your clothing. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
I have a sentimental attachment to those garments. Classic Taker troll job, am I right?
You're a real gem. Hey, are you excited for the greatest Royal Rumble? We heard news yesterday of a casket match with you and Rusev. That's exciting.
Rusev will be buried in the Arabian desert, his body ravaged by the sands of time. As the sun sets on the most grueling casket match of all time.
Did you just call it a squash match?
I did not.
Okay, that's not what I heard.
The people of Bulgaria will have no choice but to embrace the end of Rusev. They shall call it Rusev Day.
You can't be serious. No, that's already a thing. Rusev Day, he says it all the time.
I have no idea what you're talking about. By the way,
I guess we're moving on.
I want to take this chance on your television show to double down on my challenge to Mark Zuckerberg. You and me at Mania 43.
It's a podcast. What happened to Mania 39?
I gotta fight Cena like 4 more times, then take some time off, but then I will be ready to end your reign of pain and darkness, Zuckerbish.
Why do you keep calling him that?
I just like the sound of it. I'm fully aware his real name is Zuckerman.
That's incorrect.
Zuckerstein, whatever. I gotta go. I have a 3 o'clock DDP yoga penciled in. Hey, yo, you coming, big man?
Was that Scott Hall?
Probably. I'll see you after I bury Rusev. Big Evil out. Rest in peace, you bish.
Okay. Well, there you have it.
They get weirder and weirder.
That was probably the worst one yet.
Maybe just because he's busier now.
He's really flighty. He's got stuff to do. He's confusing. He's confused. I'm confused.
I think we're all a little confused. But I mean, it's good that he's back. He sounds great.
He doing jumping
great.
jacks. He's physically in his prime again.
He's working his butt off. We're going to see a casket match, which we haven't seen in years.
Yeah,
so
and in 9 years?
It's very exciting.
We're going to see him take on Mark Zuckerberg.
That'll be a chair of wheels match.
Well, now that ridiculousness is over, let's have some fun. It's time for our fantasy shakeup.
WrestleMania was great. Now we're gonna shake. Shake it up. Ha ha. Shake it up. Do. I'm excited, Vince. Shut up, Doc.
Let's do this.
Oh, was there a song? Oh, I thought you were gonna cue a song there or something. Weird. All right.
Well, the song's going to be edited in post. You just can't hear it now, Maddie.
Oh,
you're
shoot.
pulling back the curtain right now.
So did I already miss it, or are you
It's
gonna
going to be like a Vince song. It's going to be like, WrestleMania was great. Now it's time to shake.
Oh.
Shake it up. Ha ha. It's a goddamn shake-up, pal.
So are you gonna play that now then?
No, I already played it.
Oh.
You just don't know it because it happens late. It's a whole time thing, like where it happens later. But if you listen to the podcast, it happened a while ago. It's editing.
So who's going to Raw and SmackDown?
Okay, we're gonna do 4 dudes, 4 women, 2 tag teams, and 3 call-ups. That's how we're gonna do it. First off, I'm gonna start things off. For men, I'm gonna send Finn Balor to SmackDown because I feel like it's a smaller roster. Finn is a character who needs a bit of a fresh start. He's starting to get over on Raw, but I think he needs some separation from Seth Rollins.
Yep.
Seth has the whole Monday Night Rollins thing going on. He's the IC champ now. He's got a belt. He's sort of tied to that show. So I'm sending Finn to SmackDown. Maddie, your pick.
I am actually sending Big Cass / Colin Cassidy to SmackDown. I think he's cleared. We didn't see him on Raw. I think it's perfect that next Tuesday his whatever music will kick in, and that's where he'll end up. He needs a fresh start. He needs to get away from his past, and this is just an easy way to do it.
That's where I'm going to go because I don't have Zoe on my SmackDown show on my own. Why am I rhyming? Whatever. He's just kind of a big, dumb Chris Walken.
And
That's my big guess.
I guess SmackDown needs a big guy like that, too. Baron Corbin can't do it himself.
All right. Now, with Finn going to SmackDown for my fantasy shakeup, here's a big one, okay? We talked about how AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan wrestled. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send Daniel Bryan to Raw.
Ooh.
He's been on SmackDown for so long. He's become part of the show, SmackDown. But if you send him back to Raw, you've got Miz. You've got Roman Reigns, who was partially responsible for Daniel Bryan's injuries because I think they were paired off last time they were wrestling. He was wrestling. And it's kind of the land of the giants, and it puts Daniel Bryan as that lovable underdog again with a bunch of dudes. Plus, you got
super interesting.
You got Samoa Joe over there. You got other guys that were never there with him, and like Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, he could have some fun with. I don't really want him buried in the mid-card like that. But you know what I'm talking about. It'd be fun. Daniel Bryan to Raw. Go ahead.
Interesting. All right. I've got Rusev with Aiden English going to Raw. I think he's another guy
just
that can
grouping guys together now.
Well,
doing whatever you want.
It's his guy. You know, it's his
whatever. Fine. It's technically a tag.
You know what I mean? Shut up. Maybe they've tagged once.
I'm more than an escort, Matty. I'm
Singles talent.
Rusev is super over. They're putting him in the spotlight, and I think he could use a fresh roster to kind of move through and maybe get some wins. Who knows? Go for that Intercontinental title.
I would love to see Rusev against bigger dudes, too, like Rusev and Braun Strowman, or Rusev and Samoa Joe. These two names are going to come up a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. Since it's the shakeup, I'm in the business of breakups.
Ooh.
I'm going to send a guy that everybody wants to see do more. A guy that everybody wanted to see go to SmackDown in the original draft. A guy that everybody believes in. The Swiss Superman, Cesaro, is going to SmackDown. Sheamus is hurt. He doesn't have that much going on. They just got embarrassed. That tag team is kind of blowing up.
Interesting.
The Raw tag scene, whatever. It needs new people, so why not break up one of the teams? Let's send Cesaro to SmackDown, where he can be a real player, a big, strong, physical dude on a show that will honestly be a giant among smaller men there. He could feud with anybody over there. I mean, maybe he could even get a good match out of Jinder Mahal, or maybe he could make us care about Dolph Ziggler or Randy
he's so
Orton.
good too, right? So it's like I feel like he could have that sort of match with anyone. That's interesting though. I don't know if the bar is done, but I respect your opinion.
What's your pick?
Oh, my pick.
We got like 12 more of these.
Yeah, fair enough. I wrote down. I actually did 6, but I'm actually saying I'm kind of going against you here, and I'm saying Miz and the Miz Taraj go to SmackDown.
Okay.
I think we'll see a rebirth of that Daniel Bryan feud. Maybe it happens on Raw, like you said, but I think personally I don't know if Daniel Bryan can leave SmackDown. So I see Miz going back there.
Interesting.
Get him out of the Intercontinental
I
title.
like my Raw and SmackDown rosters better than your Raw and SmackDown rosters.
Interesting.
So
I actually had someone else written down, and I just changed it kind of last minute. So.
I made the mistake of posting on my notes with my picks in it, so you had to try to work around some of mine. But then I changed them at the 11th hour, so I trolled you.
Yeah, interesting.
All right. I'm still sticking with the breakup scenario.
Okay.
Since we broke up one tag team and sent one guy to SmackDown who needs a singles push.
I see where you're going here.
We got somebody on SmackDown in a stale team that really has nowhere to go anymore, no direction.
Who we've talked about.
He's going to Raw for a singles push. It's Big E. Going to Raw.
If you didn't get it by that Rob singles push thing, it's Big E. I like that.
Big E to Raw.
I like
it's
that.
time. Light a match, set a fire.
Well, we've talked about the last couple of weeks about Serious Big E is actually awesome.
He's awesome.
And
you know what? You could still have Kofi and Xavier as a tag team on their own.
Yep.
Smaller tag team on a smaller show.
One of the ones I wrote down for Raw here was KO and Sammy, but I think that one's too obvious, so I'm going to go off the book here.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to say Dolph to Raw.
Sure.
Get him out of SmackDown. Put him on a new roster where he can get buried somewhere else. I don't know.
He could not matter on Raw just as easily as he could not matter on SmackDown.
Exactly.
That's
Hopefully
perfect.
they'll rebrand him when he goes to Raw. I don't know.
Okay, let's go to the women.
Yep.
My first pick, Becky Lynch goes to Raw.
Okay.
She's a super over babyface. She's being underutilized. Right now, Charlotte's on SmackDown. I don't think that she can ever really be who she needs to be on the same show as Charlotte, so let's move her over to Raw.
Okay. That makes sense.
Simple as that.
I'm leaning the way sort of where your head's at, but a little bit different. I've actually said Charlotte back to Raw.
With the title? Oh yeah, she doesn't have a title.
She doesn't have it. Haha.
Interesting.
So my whole thing is the 4 horsewomen. I don't know how you can do it with Bayley and Sasha, but there was that whole thing way back with Rousey doing the 4 MMA horsewomen, and now she's actually part of WWE. I could see them maybe wanting to do something there. So I've got Charlotte going back to Raw.
That's pretty interesting, and we're going to talk about possible feud buildups and stuff later in the show as well. But
are we? Okay.
Yeah, I think that Charlotte and Ronda Rousey is definitely the end game for WWE for possibly next year. That might be why Asuka
because it sounds like
end the streak.
Yeah, it sounds like they changed plans from Asuka and Rousey to something else.
And Rousey's obviously a Monday Night Raw attraction, so
yeah, she's not going anywhere.
Charlotte going to Raw may be a very real possibility. These are all just fun, but. That's a good one. That's a really good one. It's a logical one. One that I think might be kind of fun and also a fun reset for this character is Bayley goes to SmackDown.
Yeah, I thought about her as well.
Yeah, I mean, maybe even split her up from Sasha Banks because if they can keep us going for like a year teasing their feud, maybe they can have their match at the Shakeup show and then be separated for a while and they can make something else happen down the road. Who cares? At this point, I don't care anymore.
Yeah, something they can kind of maybe get back together with in a while once they do another shakeup. I get it. That makes sense.
All right, who's your second lady?
Going to SmackDown, Alexa Bliss.
Okay.
Yeah,
She's already been there. That's kind of boring to me.
Yeah, but Charlotte was already Raw, but I think they got to get Alexa away from Nia Jax.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's kind of my only thought process on it because I think Jax is going to hold it for a while.
When how can Alexa ever be champ again when somebody like Nia Jax has the title?
That's exactly my point, and that's why I think you need to move her over. And I feel like if you're going to swap someone a lot with the caliber of Charlotte, you got to move someone like Bliss as well.
All right, I'm going to give my next two together. I think that might actually make kind of sense.
All right.
These two are in the same vein. That's with the same thought process that I'm going to move Liv Morgan to Raw because she can't be on the same show with Carmella because they're the same person.
Yep.
And with that in mind, I'm also moving Sonya Deville to SmackDown because they have Ronda Rousey now, and Sonya Deville's whole thing was that she's like a gladiator MMA fighter, and that's just a really shitty, bastardized version of what Ronda Rousey is, just proven that she kicks ass at being. So how can they keep doing the same thing on the same show?
It makes sense, and I think in keeping with the women's tag team possible division, you've got 3 in the Riot Squad, so it's easy to remove one.
Sure.
I'm not sure if you can do that with with Mandy Rose and Sonya, but I mean it definitely makes sense when you can't have the same character on both or on the same show. So I get it. My 2, I'm going to move Naomi to Raw, and I'm going to move Dana Brooke to SmackDown. I think Dana Brooke needs to get back to wrestling.
Does she though?
Yes. She's not a manager.
She's been fun in the Titus Worldwide, and I don't think she matters at all when she's wrestling.
I think she could, and I think I'd like to see her at least have that opportunity. I don't know if it would work, but I just feel like she's not going to get that on Raw at all. She might have a better chance on SmackDown.
I have a hard time being negative about Dana because of all the stuff she's been through.
Yeah.
But, I
think
she never really showed much of an in-ring ability. She doesn't really have any affinity for it,
She's never really had the chance, though. She was partnered with Charlotte. She was then partnered with Alexa.
She could have picked it up over the last couple of years doing house shows, but...
I don't know. Who knows? I'd like to give her the opportunity on TV, and Naomi to Raw is that's more just like get a higher profile person kind of moving just to create more or different matches sort of thing.
Well, she could also maybe stay with her husband because as far as tag teams go, I'm moving the Usos to Raw.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn. Okay.
The Usos go to Raw because they've exhausted their matchups on SmackDown.
Fair.
Now, obviously, you could bring someone over to SmackDown, and I just blew up the New Day, so now SmackDown is in dire straits.
Yeah.
Okay, they've been decimated by me.
Yeah,
I've gouged SmackDown.
Yes, you have.
But Raw is just amazing now. Imagine the Usos on Raw. They would have some great matches with the Authors of Pain.
Yep.
The Usos could have amazing matches with the Revival would be fun.
Does that give you too many heels over there, though? Maybe
Usos are babyface. Usos are good guys.
Really? Because they're criminals.
Absolutely, they're babyfaces.
They put themselves out.
The Usos are babyfaces.
I disagree.
You weren't paying attention to the story they told for like the last month where the Bludgeon Brothers were big, nasty heels.
Yeah, I suppose.
And the Usos and the New Day were brothers in arms against this horrific force.
Yeah, I can see where you're going.
You think just because they got street sense and they're real
for
cool,
a year they were the heel in the entire
bad
New
guys,
Day
Matt?
feud. They were the heel.
Yeah, and then those guys like shook hands and became friends. Okay,
Sure.
Okay, well, what's your pick next?
Well, I've got actually this one's kind of silly. Breezango. Send him to Raw.
Okay.
Maybe get him a little more TV time with 3 hours, like maybe a couple more matches. I really have no reason behind this other than just
a greater audience for the Fashion Files. Maybe Breezango can hand tickets out to all of Noe Jose's entourage.
Yeah, there you go.
That's
maybe
a ticket.
I don't know. Just something different.
Bunny ears. That's a ticket.
Yeah. What do you got?
They look ridiculous, Deputy Dango.
Ticket.
So, in the name of trying to send another relevant tag team back to the other show, since I've gutted SmackDown, I've left SmackDown in utter disrepair. They don't know what to do. Paige is pulling her hair out. She's like, "This is my house and no one's left." I am sending the club to SmackDown. They can go with Balor. I really, really wanted to separate the club from Balor because I feel like when they're on the same show, they just come off as lackeys. But unfortunately, they've gone with Finn. They've gone with Balor back to SmackDown, but they've also rejoined AJ Styles.
Yep.
And then they can be a relevant tag team on SmackDown because they can tell a good story around those guys. And you could also have the story built in where one day either Finn and the club take on AJ Styles or AJ Styles rejoins with the boys, the Good Brothers.
Maybe the four of them
and
join
those
up.
nerds beat the hell out of Finn Balorski.
Something. I mean, I think that would pull in a good story, and at least for a couple months where people would actually really enjoy that.
It's fun. Or you could have a whole 4-person club reunion, and it could be an actual faction.
Which would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But, me going to SmackDown, I've got Matt, Jeff, and Bray. Send them all down there. They can actually be a top team down there if they're going to move.
That would be fun, SmackDown.
Them against the Bludgeon Brothers, I can see that working really well.
Sure, yep.
And I feel like Raw has kind of gone more of the serious route, bringing in like AOP and stuff like that. Right. So I think the Hardys could have a lot of fun down on SmackDown.
Okay, let's do these 3 call-ups all at once because we're running out of time here.
Well, and these are more fun, right?
Yeah,
we know they've already done
fun.
call-ups, so.
Okay, I'm sending Andrade Cien Almas with Zelina Vega,
of course,
to SmackDown.
Nice.
The wrestling show.
He'd be freaking great there.
Imagine Almas and AJ Styles, or even if Daniel Bryan's still there, or if Finn Balor's gone over to SmackDown in my new universe, my amazing new universe that I've shaken up. Secondly, what I would do, in the interest of the broken or woken universe, I'm sending Sanity to Raw. Because Sanity visiting the Hardy compound would be wonderful. Yes. I just feel like it'd be really fun. I think Alexander Wolf and Nikki Cross would play in really well. It'd be a lot like possibly when they did the Delete or Decay back in Impact. And maybe they could try to kidnap King Maxwell or something fun and crazy
really,
and creepy.
All four of them could get a call up, and it would make total sense as well. So
plus, obviously,
I
mean, Eric Young would have known Matt from TNA and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They might have some kinship there. They might have some chemistry. It'd be fun.
Yep. No, I'm okay with that. I think Nikki needs a call up. Actually, all of them could.
Yeah. It also brings up a woman to the roster, and they need more
tag
women.
team, another singles guy. Yeah,
Sure.
it's good. I like
it's great.
I like
and I'm fantastic. And thirdly, I'm going to take the Sicilian Psychopath out of NXT. His run is over.
Oh.
He has no business left at NXT. Johnny Gargano has smoted him good. He's been smitten. He's been smited.
Smitten, I think, is different than...
He's smitten with Johnny, and he was smoted. But this one's going to throw you, Maddie. This is going to surprise you. I'm sending him to 205 Live.
I hate you. I hate
205 Live.
No.
Has no compelling heels.
True. You know what? That's actually
remember Neville? He was the only reason to watch that show for a while. It would probably kill his career. But I'm playing with fire today, buddy.
Ooh.
I'm burying him like The Undertaker buried Rusev in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely see where you're going. After that match and the way they built it up, I don't know if they could just bury him on 205 Live.
He's a strong wrestler. He's under 205 pounds.
Yeah.
I wanted to send Ricochet there, but they have Cedric Alexander. They have Mustafa Ali. They have really strong babyface characters right now. You need some good heels. You need
You're not wrong.
Somebody who's going to come.
They've got Drew Gulak. Don't forget.
Gulak's fun, but he's been there for a while. He's he's not putting butts in seats.
Yep.
Ugh.
All right. That's
That'll
interesting.
put butts in the seats.
I also did pick someone to go to 205 Live as well. So that's funny that we kind of picked one.
Somebody's
got
to go there, right? They got to get somebody new. I think Ciampa would be really fun. I don't know if anybody would care, but I would care.
I would care, but more for the negative.
It would make me want to
You know
watch.
what? I'd probably watch. For sure I'd watch because I'd want to see what he does.
He could go in, like maybe he could just tear apart Buddy Murphy on the first show. And then,
well, Buddy Murphy's a heel, so.
Oh, yeah, Buddy Murphy's a heel. That's right. Okay, he could just.
He's not a compelling heel,
He could destroy Kalisto on the first show.
Sure, there you go.
Just throw him around like a rag doll.
Yeah, I could see it.
Beat him with his crutch.
I don't like it, but I could see it. If he's still on a crutch, they've ruined the story.
Drake Maverick put him back on a crutch.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to give you my three now.
Give us the three.
I've got Johnny Gargano going to SmackDown.
Okay, that's fine.
And I've got that
that's
because...
pretty basic. You're a basic bitch.
Okay, well, frig. I know I'm wrong because there's already spoilers for some TV tapings and he wants to go for the championship again, but whatever.
Of course.
I'd love to see him on SmackDown to kind of mimic Daniel Bryan, maybe follow him, look up to him as a mentor sort of thing. I could kind of see a storyline there.
All right.
Also, just think there's just really not much more for him to do in NXT. That match just seemed like it was the culmination of their NXT careers, and there's nothing left for them.
Yeah,
to
where
do
they
there.
go from here?
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I'm ripping Ciampa out. You're ripping Gargano out.
Yeah.
They should both go up, honestly.
So one thing, yeah, absolutely, I agree. So one thing you kind of put here when we talked about this is no rules. So,
there's no rules.
So here, it's not necessarily a call up, but I'm returning Neville to the roster, and I'm sending him to Raw.
You're
not
bringing him
205
back.
Live to Raw.
Wait, so but in Fantasyland, you're able.
Fantasyland,
you're smoothing everything over.
Yeah, I've fixed it.
He's like, I was really upset, but now I feel great.
I've fixed it. I had a chat with him. He's happy, and I'm going to send him to the main roster, and I'm going to put him on Raw.
I'm extremely appeased.
I have no idea why. I think it's more I just want to see him back because he's so damn good.
He was awesome.
And then a little bit off the board here, I'm sending a tag team to 205 Live because they're getting a tag team belt. I'm sending TM61.
Sure, why not?
There's nothing for them to do in NXT.
They're really boring, though.
Yeah. I don't know. You know what? They got hurt, but that Dusty Classic match they had with AOP in Toronto was awesome. And it seemed like that they were going to kind of go somewhere, and then they got hurt. So, and it was like a year-long thing. They're back now. They're wrestling. There's nothing for them to do in NXT. Send them to 205 Live.
Yeah, they're all right, I guess. I don't know. They're just two Australian guys.
They're super talented.
Two Australian guys, two Aussies in little trunks.
Yeah.
You like us? Little trunks. The bodies aren't that impressive, but we're all right.
That's all right.
We do some stuff.
Yeah.
We can wrestle. You're not tiny trunks.
But anyways, so those are my three call-ups.
I feel like that's more of a Kiwi What, wasn't that like a New Zealander? I don't know.
It kind of reminded me of like Flight of the Conchords a little bit. We're like, I don't think that's
every time
Australian.
I try to do an Australian voice, I end up sounding like the redheaded guy from
Their
Flight
manager?
of the Conchords. What's his name?
Britt,
like,
Jermaine, and
like Barry. What's his name? It wasn't Barry. Oh my God, I forget his name.
I don't know.
He's the best.
He's the funniest guy on the show.
Britt, Jermaine, are you here?
Present.
Raise your hand, please.
Oh God, that's gonna drive me nuts
present?
now. Anyways,
Murray.
we should probably.
Murray.
Is it Murray?
It's Murray, isn't it?
I think so. I think you're right. All right, crisis averted. Let's move on.
Right, first band meeting.
Let's throw it out to the tweeters here. Tweet at us. Who do you want to see come up? Who do you want to see move shows? Send us your ideas.
Yeah, I guess, although somebody already did that.
Well, one person did, so
yeah, that's true.
That's what I'm saying.
Send us your tweets. Who do you think would be a good call-up, whatever, all that stuff. That'd be fun.
And your
Use
no
the hashtag,
rules.
by the way, just 2 tweets, because right now it is time for...
The following segment was paid for by the ADCs of wrestling.
Hey, yo. This is just 2 tweets.
Two tweets.
When did you create that?
It was in last week's show.
And the week before.
Yeah.
I was just trying to piss you off.
This show's really off the rails. This is
Yeah.
a terrible episode so far, Maddie. I hate this episode.
Wow.
Full disclosure, we've had to stop recording like 6 times. Also, I've committed to making songs for this show, and jury's still out.
You gotta
whether
do
they'll
it.
actually end up in the show or not.
Well, it's funny because they would have heard them by now.
Oh, no, it's another weird juxtaposition through space and time. Yes. Wonderful.
Should we read some tweets?
Yeah, do it. 2 tweet me, bro. Let's do
Okay.
this.
All right. Let's go with a fun one here. Kind of a serious one. If you were to book a year-long feud for next year's WrestleMania, who would it be with? That comes from our buddy Kevin McBride at Kevin McBride.
Yeah, his name is his name.
Nobody
Kevin
gets that.
McBride
That's actually
is who we thought he was.
That's pretty great for him because I can't get Matt Campbell.
No, I got Andrew David Cox, though.
Well,
That's why I can never change it. I'm like, well, I got my name. I better keep it. Kevin, thanks for the tweet, man. I think the obvious one is Charlotte and Ronda Rousey. We already talked about this on the show, and I just think it makes a whole heck of a lot of sense. But if we were to have some fun with it, I just heard your stupid little cough, Maddie. It would definitely be Daniel Bryan and somebody. Mm-hmm. Maybe The Miz. Mm-hmm. Build it up for another year, put them on the same show together, and have tensions boil over for a long time. Although that match wouldn't be that great because of The Miz. But the storytelling would be there, so it'd be a lot of fun because of The Miz.
dueling yes kicks would be amazing.
Yeah. What, are they going to just keep kicking each other in the toe?
No, like Miz does it to him to mock him, and then Bryan gets him back later by doing his move that Miz has been doing for months.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
It'd be fun. I like that one. That's good.
Another good year-long one would be kind of like a Samoan feud, blood feud between Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe.
Yeah,
We
and I
had
think
him
we're
sort
going
of-
to get that, though.
Yeah, I know, but imagine him planting these seeds, and then the Roman and Brock stuff sort of continues, and then Roman veers off somewhere else, and the Samoa Joe thing's always just there in the back of his mind, and eventually it comes back around in another year. I think that could
I
be
like
kind
it.
of fun, too.
Yeah,
So,
I like that.
I don't know. That's a tough question, though, man. That's a really good one, Kevin.
Well, can I give you mine?
No,
Like
no.
God.
Moving along. Next one. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Wow.
What's your thing, Matt?
Well, if you're right and Finn Balor does move, I'd love to see a Finn and AJ
Yes.
long thing. I don't know who's the heel there. I don't know how it would work, but I would love to see, even if they don't call it like a club feud or whatever, but it would almost be like that battle for the
But
club
involve
sort
the
of
Good
thing.
Brothers, too. Have
Yeah,
the Good Brothers
absolutely.
like join one of them and then switch allegiance
Yeah.
and then have it become like a you betrayed me.
Yep.
All of this classic, you took my friends away and now I have nothing and all I have left is to beat you.
I think it would be super easy to have the club move over, like you said, and reintroduce themselves to AJ because they traveled it. Well, I mean, they were together in WWE for a while.
I don't know if you know this, but they were friends in Japan.
Okay, I
Maddie.
know that, but
They
I'm
were
talking
good
about
friends in Japan.
But I'm
as
talking about
WWE will
just
hit you
in
over the head with.
WWE where they were together. They were the club. Quote,
They used
unquote.
to be in a club in Japan.
Which one? Which one? Anyway, so that's that. I would love to see that. Finn and AJ kind of just over a year doing their
Finn
own
and
thing,
AJ
but
over a year.
always
That's
just
great.
right there.
That's a
I
great
think
one.
that would be an easy one to believe. So moving on, let's go to our next tweet here from MJH at The Real Hags.
Oh, no. That's not the one I wanted to do next, brah.
No?
No. You've ruined it.
Wasn't it?
No.
With Zucker?
No, that was kind of a third one.
Oh. Well,
was
you know
an
what? Let's
extra.
talk about that one because I
That was
brought
an
it up
extra.
already.
No. It's
not part of just 2 tweets.
Oh, well, then why'd you put it in here?
Because it's an extra tweet at the end. I just wanted to bring it up, Maddie.
Oh, you're the worst.
You blew our
Fine.
spots. That's it. I'm taking over just 2 tweets right now. I'm taking it back. Now, the second tweet was Jonathan at Video Gaming For You.
Oh.
Says, in my opinion, I'd like to see Braun go to SmackDown and run through everyone. Also, I'd like to see Sasha and Seth go to SmackDown. For Raw, I'd like to see AJ Styles just to have new matchups. Trinity, Rusev, and the Usos. That's just his opinion. I thought that was kind of fun because we had just done the shakeup. Also, it's
kind of what we just asked for.
Right after the Superstar Shakeup, but you skipped to the second tweet instead of the first one.
I see.
Completely ignoring my rundown, you stupid idiot.
Well, I mean, I thought I didn't know you put it in chronological order.
Do you know what happens, Maddie, when you don't follow the show lineup?
What?
Matt the Mark?
You just made the list!
Damn it. Well, I don't know. I kind of always wanted to be on the list.
Yeah, you didn't really sell it for me. That's not, I guess I'm not putting it
Oh, no!
There you go.
Shoot! This is going to affect my life personally.
Yeah, it sucks to be on the list.
Was that better?
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. Read them in order, you piece of crap.
Well, sorry, Jonathan. I didn't realize.
Matt the Mark, read the tweets in order, you piece of trash. You think you can just read the tweets anytime you want? What? You think you just go out of order? What? You think ADCs just making show lineups for fun? What?
See? Even
Shut
Steve
up,
knows
Steve.
the deal.
You shut up.
Take the garbage out.
I did it yesterday, you goddamn piece of trash.
Damn. Did he really?
No, he's lying.
I apologize, Jonathan. I didn't realize he put them in chronological order for me to read.
When are we going to get another between 2 beers, Steve?
I'm working on it.
That's actually a great question.
That's something, I guess.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
Read the third one, Matt.
All right. So, MJH, at the Real Hags. If you definitely follow him and take a look at this
It's
tweet.
just 2 tweets, but this is a third tweet because kayfabe is dead.
Because it was pretty funny. He posts a picture that John Cena himself posted, and it's just a picture of Mark Zuckerberg, and he's wondering if it's foreshadowing for WrestleMania 39.
Yeah, this was John Cena on his Instagram. Posted just a picture of Zuckerberg smiling like a douche.
Yeah,
a big shit-eating grin.
Yeah.
I 1,000% think it's foreshadowing. John Cena clearly listens to the ADCs of wrestling.
Obviously.
He's a big fan. I've been tweeting at him for the last month or so with my trolling video, last 3 weeks.
Weird.
No, just every time I post the Undertaker trolling video,
I
at
see.
John Cena.
I see.
So he's seen it. He knows it. He clearly has watched all of the sketches that we do. He's clearly Kevin McBride in disguise. He's been tweeting us with his predictions. He loves the show. He's a fan. We saw it at WrestleMania. Okay, he's a fan like us. He was 2 beers deep. Okay,
that's true.
Really over his limit.
I think he was like half a beer deep. He milked the crap out of that thing.
Anyway, I think what we all need to take away from this is that it's going to be Undertaker versus Mark Zuckerberg, I think, or Zuckerman, or whatever, at WrestleMania 39.
What the hell's his name? Is it Zuckerberg?
It's Zuckerberg.
Oh, okay. I was like, did I say it wrong too?
You know, it's funny. Last night when I was writing the Taker's appearance, I mean, when Taker was thinking of what he was going to say,
yeah.
I originally wrote Zuckerberg to be wrong. And then I was like, wait, that is his name.
That's right, yeah.
I was like, Zuckerman, Zuckerstein, whatever. I think that's it.
I like that you went Jewish with both of them.
Yeah.
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 Anyways.
Well, he is, isn't he? Zuckerberg, I'm guessing. I don't know.
Maybe.
Neither do I.
Who cares?
Assumptions. Well, I'm in trouble
you're so
now.
Racist.
Yeah, I'm a terrible person. That's it for the show this week. Finally, after 12 edits, I had a roof guy come by in the middle of the show. My father-in-law came by to pick up Vanguard Dog 1. Yes. He is having a great time right now with his data.
He loves him, eh?
Yeah, he really does. God, everybody loves
Vanguard
Drago.
Dog
Yes, my father-in-law's name is Drago.
Yes, it is.
I'll leave you with that awesome piece of information. Drago.
Drago.
Boom. That's the end of the show. If you enjoyed the show, if it's the first time you listen to anything like that, go to iTunes and leave us a 5-star review. I see new ones popping up now and again. That's nice.
Pretty cool.
Spread the word. Tell your friends about the ADCs of wrestling. Tell them that you like the voices, the fun, the segments, the stuff, the songs, the whatever. Follow us at ADCs of Wrestling on Twitter. Follow Matt the Markiest on Twitter. Follow me at Andrew David Cox on Instagram and Twitter. And also go to youtube.com/Andrew David Cox and check out our videos and my song parodies and all that stuff. Subscribe, follow, all that.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's great stuff. I somehow really always ramble on. I don't know how to end these things. I'm just rambling. It just keeps going on. I'll see you guys next week. Ball game.
Peace.
Bye.